Good evening and congratulations to everyone here, all the parents, teachers, judges, sponsors, organisers, and most of all, the young artists themselves. Sorry I can't be with you this evening, but it's nice to be able to greet you like this and also to have had the opportunity to see your artwork. Each year I'm always impressed by the sheer diversity, skill and freshness of the work that comes in, and this year is certainly no exception. About 15 years ago, around the time I was working on two large murals in this library, I was invited to be a patron of these awards, which was then a modest partner to the Tim Winton Young Writers Award. I didn't expect they would grow into such an enduring and vibrant event, one that now has its own stage and lighting set up, not to mention thousands of entries now from all over the state. That, of course, is thanks to the tireless efforts of library staff over the years, but more importantly, the enthusiasm of parents, teachers, and students keen to show their work. Without that involvement, this could only be a very awkward cocktail party, and I think we all have enough of those. But aside from the obvious fun of making art and having an award with prizes, it's worth pausing to ask why we do this. First, with full disclosure, I'm very sceptical of art prizes because they set up a competitive environment, which is the last thing that painting and drawing should be about. It should only be about the thing you are painting or drawing. The treeness of a tree, the shadowness of a shadow, the mumness of your mum, the catness of a cat, even if it's playing a piano, or the plain weirdness of a plainly weird thing. Young artists know this already. When you first start drawing, you know the feeling of wanting to show not just what things look like, but what they feel like. Objects, places, people, moments, dreams and fantasies, and most importantly, what they feel like to you as a unique set of eyes in the world. All other things, artistic merit, scores, grades, critique, and awards are barely relevant. I myself used to worry a lot about TEE scores and folio assessments in high school, and I forgot the point of the whole thing at times, something that I already knew by the age of 5. That all I had to do was draw the thingness of a thing as best as I could imagine it, and really forget all the rest. I kept coming back to that younger self for guidance, and I still do, which is another reason these awards are so important within the broader artistic community. They actually have much to teach adult artists, including myself. So awards and prizes are very secondary, but that said, they have always had an important practical place in my own creative life, mostly when I was very young, as key moments of encouragement. My teachers or parents would say, "Hey, there's some art thing where you can send your drawing or painting." So I'd put extra effort into finishing something, send it off, and see what happened. Sometimes nothing, sometimes rejection, and sometimes a judge, I always imagined someone in a gown and a legal wig, would make a nice comment or put a ribbon on the roughly cut cardboard I'd put around my picture, or there would be a certificate and a gathering of some sort with some older artist droning on about something when all I wanted to know was how many coloured pencils were in those nicely wrapped parcels they were going to hand out. A few thoughts would come to me at those moments. Firstly, hey, this art thing is really paying off big time. I once won $50 in a competition for a poster design and I figured I was set for life, or at least for a year's worth of Mars bars. But more importantly, I felt proud that I'd finished a painting and that other people thought it was good. That I was not so solitary in thinking that it was good and was part of a bigger community, not just a scribbling kid in a bedroom. I also loved seeing the work that older kids were doing, especially the ones just a little bit older than me. These were far more awe-inspiring than the work of so-called professional adults, somehow more connected to my own interests. So I hope these awards have a similar value for entrants as a kind of peer review. The other thing to mention about awards recognition is that it made me take art a little bit more seriously. Growing up in suburban Hillaries in the 1980s, I don't actually recall meeting a practicing artist the way I met, say, a teacher, a plumber or a doctor. It just didn't seem like a real job. I've since learned that it is a real job and there are a great many careers in the visual arts, in film, animation, books, in galleries, museums, games and other media, both existing and yet to be invented. These are careers as important and serious as any other if they are pursued importantly and seriously. Drawing, the act of making simple marks on paper, is a lifetime pursuit where you are constantly levelling up. I'm still learning it myself, and it's the bedrock of most visual arts professions. Time spent learning to draw is never wasted. Everything I've done in my own working life has been based on good pencil-to-paper drawing, and it seems to survive all technological change so far. So if you only take one thing home from this speech, let it be this: please keep on drawing. And that's all from me. I hope you have a wonderful evening and meet a few other artists. A quick word of thanks to the organisers, judges and sponsors who make all of this possible, to Marion, Tina and all of the library staff who toil fearlessly away behind the scenes, to the Mayor, to the City of Subiaco, to our fantastic judges who devote their time voluntarily judging over 1,000 artworks: Wendy, Kelly, James, Rita, Pippa, Gary and Daniela. Having sat on juries myself, I know this is no easy task and can be as troubling and disturbing as question time in Parliament. Appreciation to our generous sponsors who make this award happen through their sponsorship of picture framing, graphic design and prizes: Cool Creative, Prime Art Picture Framers, New Edition Bookshop, Dimmock's Bookstore Subiaco, Subiaco Bookshop, Ms. Janet Holmes-Court, whose generous contribution allows us to take this award to regional Western Australia every year now. Thank you all so much, and remember what I said: keep on drawing. Good night. Oh, one more thing. Hello, Mum and Dad. Good night.